Village was a touch livelier when I saw it last. Ain't saying much, though. Bitter cold and a persistent odor of fish. And that were just the people. Anything's better than Galvino's workshop. You ain't heard the old buzzard sing. Anyway, what about you? We seen lots coming through, trying to crack the battery, but no watchers. The do-gooder of the Deerwood. You're a rare breed these days. But don't let me keep you from the sights and sounds of Stalwart. They're easy to miss. Effigy's eyes, that man loved to talk. Yeah. Won't make the deed seem any kinder. Mayhap you've heard of Coldmoor. Was a quiet, forgettable patch of the woods, till a pack of rabid clodhoppers set it afire. A farmer on the other side of the mountains woke up one day with his head all aflame and took it for the gibbering speech of his god. And so did a few thousand of his countrymen. So when he tired of Vorlus fields and marched west, a horde of armed hicks followed. Bunch of fool nonsense is what I'm talking about. But others have called it the same. If you know that much, then you've heard of Coldmoor. Ours was the village that let a few thousand of Widewind's troops pass through. The same countrymen willing to let us stand alone against an army? We got news of the raid Sarans coming through the mountains. Begged the Duke for help, we did. Didn't send us so much as a bare-ass novitiate. They went to towns with full coffers and lofty connections. So we let Widewind soldiers pass. Left him for the Duke to wrangle on his own terms. Was after the Godhammer made a fine grit out of Widewind, when Deerwoodens were running on rage and looking for something to burn. They came at dark, hundreds of folk, every one of them mourning someone lost in the war. Must have decided it was our duty to escort their dead back to the wheel. They didn't light their torches till they had us surrounded. Time we saw them, there was a ring of fire closing around us. I woke, ran to the window. Whole village were a maze of flames. Couldn't see nothing for the smoke. And the screams. Most ran for the streets, got caught by the mob. Others hid, let their houses burn down around them. You're the only person in the Deerwood who thinks so. Me, I'm surprised the Duke didn't make our massacre a festival day. Ran, fought, hid, burned. Same as my neighbors and family, just luckier. Hunting down the men and women what took part. Thought that much was clear. Sure. You want me to tell you straight? I found the men and women what destroyed my village, and I burned their houses down around them. Sometimes they was alone, and sometimes they wasn't. It were a mob that destroyed our village, but it was just one man that burned my family's house. Kept hoping I'd get to him as I was working my way through the rest of those maggots. No matter now, I suppose. Only kind to have with someone like him. Or me. No other way to feel about the man who flayed my living soul. Around about 13 years. Too long, you ask me. He'd spread butter on bread and claim he made something. Never been accused of modesty, that man. He managed to stuff my soul into this heap of bronze, true enough. Maybe that makes him a genius. Also makes him a son of a bitch. Every day, he just kept putting it off. It's not like either of us was going anywhere. Looked after his tools, cleaned the workshop, swung the sledgehammer. Oh, and snatched up travelers for his soul tinkering. All those other golems, where did you think they came from? But don't you worry. They were all bad folk. Just so you know, you got a real professional working for you. Yeah, I've had enough of him too. Stalwart's great this time of year. Beareth spells in bloom for a good 5 days, and the mountain squall actually blows the fish stench away from town. Better than staying at Galvino's, anyway. I got a reputation. People in these little villages ain't the most open-minded. Not yet. Believe what you want. I killed a lot of folk, but none of them was in Stalwart. Just 'cause I'm made of metal don't mean I got any special fondness for smiths and forges. No more than what Galvino already told you. For fancy dwarven poetry? None of them ever struck me as especially literate. So whichever you can stand to get close to. And that's on you. I lost my sense of smell 13 years ago. Nothing specific. Everyone looks about the same when they got their fingers up their noses. Only the last group, one before you, there was something different about them. Couldn't put my finger on it, but they was dangerous. Almost felt the hair on the back of my neck. Ain't felt that way about anyone else walking through Galvino's door, that's for sure. Murder, tracking, and the best materials for kindling. Those are more my area of expertise. There weren't much to say about it. By my reckoning, that means it was pretty good. Ma was a trapper, taught me to set snares and dress game. Dad was a tinker. I never had his patience, but it were fun to watch him work. My brothers and sister, they was good folk too. Part of me's glad they ain't here to see me now.
I'm here.